All right, a pleasant morning, everyone. I am Giniza Montecalvo, your reporter of social, emotional, and behavioral difficulties. Social, emotional, and behavioral difficulties are a type of a special education needs in which children, young people have severe difficulties in managing their emotion and behavior. They often show inappropriate responses and feelings to situation. Autism is a condition manifested by different levels of impaired social interaction and communication, repetitive behaviors, and limited interest. Individuals with autism usually have an intense need for routine and predictable environment. Autism spectrum disorder, or also known as ESD, is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. People with ESD often have problems with social communication and interaction, and restricted or repetitive behaviors or interests. People with ESD may also have different ways of learning, moving, or paying attention. As you can see in the picture, this is the signs of people who have an autism. They are repetitive movements, slow to respond, sleep problem, child doesn't respond her name, depression, and hyperactivity. So this is the sign of autism, people who have an autism. Mental retardation or intellectual disability, or also known as ID, refers to significant sub-average intelligence and deficits in adaptive behavior. There is difficulty in managing activities of daily living and in conducting themselves appropriately in social situations. Mental retardation, characterized by below average intelligence or mental ability and lack of skills necessary for day to day living. People with mental retardation or intellectual disability can and do learn new skills, but they learn them more slowly. Emotional conduct disorders. This involves the presence of emotional states like depression and aggression over a considerable amount of time that they notably disturb learning and performance in school. Children with conduct disorders have a difficult time following rules and behaving in a social acceptable way. They their behavior can be hostile and sometimes physical violence. As you can see in the picture, those people who have conduct disorders are usually aggressive and they are depressed, something like that. Physical and health impairments caused by disease. This involves physical or medical condition, usually long term, including one or more of these. A. Limited energy and strength, reduced mental alertness, and little muscle control. What causes lack of strength? Muscle weakness is commonly due to the lack of exercise, aging, muscle injury, or pregnancy. It can also occur with long term conditions such as diabetes or heart disease. And reduced in mental alertness, many conditions can cause decreased alertness, including chronic um, chronic kidney disease, extreme tiredness or lack of sleep, high blood sugar or low blood sugar, high or low blood sodium concentration, and infection that of severe or involves brain and liver failure. Severe and multiple disabilities. This refers to the presence of two or more different types of disability, at times at a profound level. The combination of disabilities makes it necessary to make a specific adaptation and have more specialized educational programs. Severe disabilities. requires mental retardation but does not require an additional disabilities because multiple disabilities mean a student has more than one serious disability which may affect mobility, behavior, emotion, or sensory abilities. For example, intellectual disability and blindness. So this is one kind of example of the multiple disabilities and severe disabilities. So as you can see in the picture, um, this is an example of a severe and multiple disabilities. So sensory impairments. Sensory impairments is when one or your senses, including sight and hearing, is no longer normal. So visual impairments, these are conditions when there is malfunction of the eyes or optic nerves that prevent normal vision even with consecutive lenses. So it means that a person's eyesight cannot be corrected to a normal level, as may be caused by loss of visual acuity, like that. So hearing impairments, this involve malfunction of the ear or auditory nerves that hinders perception of sounds within a frequency range of normal speech. So it means that a person's ears cannot be corrected to a normal level and it causes aging, heredity, loud noise, or some illness like that. So, giftedness. This involves a significantly high level of cognitive development. There is unusually high ability or aptitude in one or more of these aspects: intellectual ability, aptitude in academic subject, creativity, visual or performing arts of leadership. So, for example, if your child is gifted, they might be able to concentrate and focus well on the task, learn very quickly, be imaginative and creative, and have advanced speech and extremely good memory. So, these are people are giftedness. People first language. This language trend involve putting the person first, not the disability. A person with a disability, not a disabled person. Does a people first language tell us what condition people have, not what they are. This is similar to saying person with AIDS rather than AIDS victim. Other suggestions for referring for those with disabilities include avoiding generic labels. People with mental retardation is preferable to the mentally retarded, emphasizing abilities, not limitation. For instance, uses a wheelchair is preferable to confine to a wheelchair, avoiding euphemisms such as physically challenged, which are regarded as condescending, and avoid the real issues that result from disability, and avoiding implying illness or suffering. Had polio is preferable to is of polio victim and has multiple sclerosis is preferable to suffer from multiple sclerosis. So this is a few example of people first language. Say people with disabilities instead of handicapped disabled. Say cognitive disability instead of mental retardation. Say Bob has a mental health condition instead of Bob mentally ill. So people first language, or also known as PFL, is about respect and dignity, and it puts the person, not the condition, first. So as you can see, the example is truly cleared to understand what is people first language. And I think that will be all our report. Thank you.